For it. Are we live? I think we are now live. It says you are now live. So hello everyone. Hello and welcome to the Geek Battle show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, please smash that subscribe button because we're going to be talking about some fun and geeky stuff tonight. I've seen a couple of new trailers for things, and I'm sure there's other things that we've seen in the last week or two that we will react to. Now, on the show tonight, we have Capital Faith. Say hello to the people, and if you have a random geek fact, go for it.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Capital Dave, with Kai Biscayne. And my geek fact for today is that the original Tim Burns Batman, they were actually looking to cast someone else, but then they also gave the role to Jack Nicholson. But Jack Nicholson initially turned it down, but then they went to Robin Williams. And when Jack Nicholson heard that they were going to go to Robin Williams, he was like, no, I want it. So that's how you got Jack Nicholson Joker. Otherwise, it would have been Robin Williams Joker.
Yeah, like, I have heard that facts before, and I just can't believe Oh, hang on, everything's gone. Oh, you're back, right. I can't believe that there is a universe out there where there is Robin Williams as the Joker, and I would just love to see that. Although Jack Nicholson is brilliant as the Joker.
But I always wonder, like, what changed his mind? Like, if because Robin Williams considered it, that's why he was like, oh, Robin is considering it, then I should definitely do it. Or was it like, oh, I'm going to screw Robin Williams?
You know, I think that stuff does kind of happen, because wasn't there that famous story that Arnold Schwarzenegger said that, oh, I'm going to go for Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, and that's why Stallone ended up doing it.
Yes.
Which is just a brilliant story. That he tricked him into taking, because Stallone must have been like, well, Arnold's doing Twins and Kindergarten Cop. What can I do? And he ended up doing something where he's just with his mom.
He even called him and asked, like, was he really going to do it? And then Arnold said, like, yeah, I am really trying to pitch for this one. I want to do this. This is going to be great. And then that's why Stallone was like, wow, he sounds genuine.
That's such a crazy story. I don't know that. Okay, so guys, obviously we know what Jack Nicholson's Joker was like. Would you trade it? Now, obviously, this is entirely hypothetical. Would you trade it for the potential, better or worse, of Robin Williams' Joker?
I would.
It depends what year. It depends what year Robin Williams is doing it. Is it when he's cocaine fueled like Mork and Mindy, or is it like
what year was Batman? 89? 1990. Okay, so yeah, so it'd have to be then. It'd have to be whatever period he was in at that time.
So it's right before he's like Mrs. Doubtfire, which, I mean, in order to be that kind of character, Mrs. Doubtfire is actually, he's breaking a lot of like social boundaries and stuff by pretending to be some childcare person to spend more time with his kids instead of just being a cool father. I imagine it'd be a really interesting character, and that Robin Williams might be able to do it pretty well.
I think Robin Williams would have been brilliant as the Joker, and like I think this is true, or maybe this is urban legend, but maybe some of you have heard it. But apparently, when they then came to Batman Forever, they basically did the same thing with Jim Carrey, where they approached Robin Williams again, and he was just like, no, and so it could have been him as the Riddler.
Get away from me, Schumacher.
Yeah, he's just like, no, not after last time, sort of thing. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's urban legend that he also could have been. He could have been the Riddler. So there's a universe out there where the Batman trilogy is just Robin Williams playing all of the villains, one by one.
I would love to visit that multiverse for a little bit.
Yeah, the Robin Williams multiverse. But it's like Robin Williams. Like, it doesn't seem fair because he seemed like. Obviously, like you said, he'd got times where he'd got like drug issues and stuff like this. And obviously his life ended in tragedy. But he seemed like one of the coolest and best people that you could ever want to have in a movie. And then obviously he got messed around with Disney over the genie in Aladdin to the point that he put it in his will that they can't use all of his unused takes to make new genie stuff?
Because like he asked not to use his voice on Robin Ford, and Disney said okay, but then they used it anyways, and that really pissed him off, and that's why you didn't return to the sequel. But then then Disney said that they were gonna do more educational content, which Robin Williams agreed that he would allow to use his voice, and Robin Williams actually came back and did some educational content with them, and also then starred in the third film. I think it was okay, but again, he was really scorched by that when they said they were going not to do it, but then they did it anyways. I think he got screwed around by management a lot because the story goes when you're a nice guy in Hollywood, you get screwed around. Brendan Fraser, other examples.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, now that is one introduction done. Tim, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people from my car. I have one good fact, and that is that if there are self-organizing molecules that exist in our world, and we don't know a lot about them, but they, from my understanding of the concept, is a lot of things don't self-organize in the way that we think. If it doesn't have like a organic matter or something, these are non-organic molecules and particles that are able to reassemble themselves, I believe, into the same structure, which has some interesting applications in terms of general research for the future of technology. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's some guy with the last name Bennett, Bennett. He researched a little bit about it, but then didn't get into it too big. But I bet that's because the general research has some, implications in defense purposes, and some, if we're looking at a capitalist point of view from it. So, cool stuff.
I mean, that almost sounds like when they say about like nanobots or nanotechnology and stuff like this, like
Yes.
being able to, yeah. Wow, I can't believe all of these science fiction things that have been just like made up stuff for so many years, bit by bit, they actually happen.
Ooh, I could get into that if you want me to.
Yeah, let's for a minute. Let's. And then
Okay. So we all know that determining probabilities and outcomes of things is just a matter of numbers, and you could put in a lot of different factors for things like that. But what if our science fiction brains are just coming up with deterministic probability of a given outcome? Like you see a specific growth pattern of a society or community, and given experience and a lot of other factors, your predictions for the future may have more accuracy as that it's just an advanced subconscious probabilistic thought process.
I think there's also the arts influencing real science. A lot of people, scientists in the general way, were interested in science fiction, and they read about these stuff, or at least it's part of the culture. And they're like, "Hey, wouldn't that be cool if I really made that a possibility, or really searched about it?" And sometimes it happens. Like they say that the artists imagine it, and the engineers find a way to make it real.
Well, the thing is, there is an interest in it. And is there an interest in it because it's generally interesting, or is there an interest in it because we're putting two things together, like microbes and technology? And that's just it's. I like thinking about how we think sometimes, because it can be very fascinating.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, the example I can come up with, just on what you said there, Cap, was when Back to the Future was reaching the time where they went to Back to the Future 2 to like 2015, it was like this massive race. We have to invent a hoverboard. And people were coming up with like magnetic things which would levitate because of such a strong magnet thing. And then obviously we had those like Segway things, or these things that you'd stand on, and they'd call hoverboards and stuff like that. So literally, because of that film, and because of like, oh, this is what we predicted for the future, we were trying to come up with it. But again, like we saw in Back to the Future 2, it was like Jaws 15 or 17 or whatever, and it was like a shark coming at you. And then, like, again, by the late 2000 into 2010, we were like getting 3D TVs and stuff like that. And interest has completely waned in it, and now we barely have that stuff anymore. So it's interesting how much it might be influenced by people like, oh, we've got to make this happen because Back to the Future said so. Or like Star Trek, they had communicators, so now we need to do this. And literally, you think about it, like this is an Apple Watch, and it's not quite the fancy one that you can put a SIM card in, but I can make phone calls with this. But if you had the one that you put a SIM card in, then you don't even need your phone. And imagine if they just took this and put it as a badge, like here, and you could tap it like a communicator in Star Trek The Next Generation. These things literally could all exist.
I mean, your watch thing is literally Knight Rider's Michael Knight's like phone, where you're just like, kids, get over it. And self-driving cars, we got that too. I mean, not close, but like we're getting there. AI is also a thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. What's the one? Like, we haven't perfected Weird Science yet. That movie, we're not taking a Barbie doll and turning it into a woman. But other than that, I think what are the other aims from science fiction that we want?
I mean, sex robots are a thing, David.
Yeah.
Well, I meant a real person, like Pinocchio. No, not like in that sense, but like make something real. Okay, anyway, still on with the introductions. Dev, say hello to the people.
How do I top that? Hello, I'm Dev. And my geek fact of the week is this week, 25 years ago, was the premiere of Star Wars Episode 1.
Star Wars Episode 1?
Yes.
Wow, that's insane. 25 years. That's nuts.
And at the premiere was Paul Rudd, Ryan Reynolds, and Usher, and among other celebrities at the time. And they all gathered at the Skywalker Ranch and promoted the movie, basically. Wow.
Okay, so what was... Wait, why were they promoting it? Were they even famous back then?
They just... Basically what they did was they picked up famous teen actors at the time and promote this movie.
Wow. Okay. Oh, we've lost Tim. Okay. Let's put us onto a different view. I feel very close. All right. Oh, it's just me now. Sorry, guys. Right. There we go. All right, that'll do. That'll do. I don't know how to turn it on. That's the view. There we go. Right. That is cool. Like, it's weird to think that Ryan Reynolds was doing something in 1999. That feels a little bit.
He was making a lot of movies, like Waitress and stuff.
Like what?
Dick. He was in a sitcom, and he was also doing stuff like Dick and comedy. Even back then, he was doing comedies.
Wow! I remember. Wasn't Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3?
Yes.
Terrible.
And what was that? Yeah, what was he in before that? Ryan Reynolds.
I remember him on an episode of Scrubs.
Ryan Reynolds was in Scrubs?
Yeah.
I remember in Van Wilder.
Yeah, that's when was that? Because that seems like the earliest thing that I remember him from.
2002.
2000, is that okay? So that is literally just after this time period. So let's see what else he'd done. He's done so many films. Okay, in 1991, he played Billy Simpson on 18 episodes of Hillside. Man, he's a lot older than I thought.
Yeah.
He was in one episode of The X-Files. I need to go back and watch that to find the Ryan Reynolds episode. In 1996, Lonesome Dove. Wow. Okay, some interesting stuff there. Now, guys, is there any stuff, let's go on some hot takes. Are there any things that you have seen? I have seen Doctor Who this week. I have seen trailers for Beetlejuice, and apparently Deadpool and Wolverine has broken the pre-sale record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an R-rated movie. How about that? and it's roughly sold 200,000 pre-sale tickets.
Nice.
I think they just like did it with the hype of X-Men '97. That series just ended, and it ended on a high note.
Oh, Capital Fave! How can you say that Deadpool 3 and the Return of Wolverine is only doing well because of the cartoon?
No, I think it's perfect timing, and it also has to do with it. I think it's perfect timing. They just finished that, and they're like, buy tickets.
That's like saying Justice League did well because Justice League Unlimited just finished.
I would say that because if it weren't for Justice League Ultimate, I wouldn't know about the Justice League. I wouldn't even care about the Justice League.
Well, that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing. Look, there will be some people, like exactly like you just said, who it's all part of like the brand awareness, isn't it? So, some people look, this is the genuine thing. The only reason I was interested when there was going to be like a X-Men movie originally is because I'd watched the original X-Men cartoon. So yeah, you're probably right in some weird warped way, but it just feels like X-Men '97. How many episodes of that were there? Like 8?
10, I think.
Oh, okay, but still, the point is, if they put out one a week, who has literally become an X-Men fan for the first time in the last 10 weeks? Who's now like, oh, there's a movie, right?
A lot of people
see that.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people. I see it on Twitter. A lot of people have done that. It's weird.
Wow.
I think again, my experience with Justice League, right? I didn't care about Batman. I knew Superman. I was mostly interested in Spider-Man at that point. But I saw Justice League Unlimited, and I was like, oh, Batman, I gotta see his movies. Batman Begin comes out. Great, I'm seeing that one. That's how it happens.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I guess it just feels like X-Men '97 has only existed for like a few weeks. And I think everyone watching it is probably at least 20 years old. You know?
Yeah,
maybe.
The rating is a bit high for that cartoon. I don't think little kids would be watching that one.
Yeah. See, it's the interesting thing though, just like with all of these things, it's like if something just debuts on streaming, how did people discover it in the first place? Because it feels like you only watch it if you.
I know this. Disney Plus shoves adverts while you're watching other stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
and the one good thing, like I watched the new Deadpool Wolverine trailer, which they say it's new. It only has like 10 seconds of new footage, and the one good line in that trailer is, "Wow, Paul Rudd finally aged."
That's funny. I haven't seen the new trailer, so I'll check it out.
For what film?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Because is that because they show the skull of Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good line. No, honestly, in Ryan Reynolds, I trust. Because he's one of these people who, when you see him, now it doesn't mean he's like this in real life, but the persona he puts out even in interviews is basically Deadpool.
Yeah.
So you feel like, well, he's just going to keep ad-libbing stuff, and how can they not get at least a fun film out of this?
Yeah, he's explained why he's always that way, though.
Oh, tell me.
So, like, he has massive anxiety, and comedy is his way of combating that massive anxiety by consistently being so on that everyone likes him.
Wow. Speaking seriously, I totally relate to that. I'm not saying that therefore I'm any good, but everything I say isn't serious enough as it should be for that exact same reason.
Like, people kept saying Deadpool is basically if you were Van Wilder in a mask for years.
Yeah.
And it's true.
What, have you seen Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
He literally is just playing Deadpool in it. So just PG Deadpool. But I genuinely, I really like that film. And it's just because it was just like, we'd had Deadpool perhaps 1 and 2 at that stage. Mm-hmm. It was just Deadpool 2.5.
Yeah.
With
Detective Deadpool.
references. Yeah.
But I love the fact that, so here's the thing. Like he played that. I'm not really sure if he was. Well, I think he did Deadpool before he did Green Lantern. And why didn't he think like I should cash in on that? Except like I'm gonna be Hal Jordan, dude. You have nothing to do with this character. Just bail out. You can't be Hal Jordan.
Wait, you saying he did Deadpool before he did Green Lantern?
No, he didn't.
No, he did.
Maybe as X-Men Origins.
Yeah, he was in X-Men
Oh,
Origins.
yeah.
Wolverine.
Jesus, I forgot that.
He was basically doing the same thing, like before he was patched up with the mouth.
Yeah.
We get a few scenes of Deadpool as Ryan Reynolds, where he's just doing Deadpool like he does in Deadpool movies. So,
In fact, in Deadpool 2, during the cable fight scene, they reenact the scene from X-Men Origins, where he does the sword slicing through the bullet and stuff.
oh yeah.
Oh, and then he gets shot.
Maybe
Yeah.
not as easy as I thought. Little bullet guys have gone through.
I think out of all of the films that I know that are currently in production, Deadpool and Wolverine is the one I think I'm most pumped for.
I think it's also like Ryan Reynolds also how to make deals. I think because like the story behind how he got the first Deadpool movie to do is that he got the script, he approached the studio said no, so they published it online, and then afterwards everyone like would want to make this film happen, and then the studio said fine, here you go, do it. So
It wasn't the script; it was the test footage.
Test footage. Okay, I thought it was script. I only heard this in Graham Norton though when he said like that's how Deadpool 1 got made. So we rely on you, Ryan Reynolds. Fight against the management.
Yeah.
The entire bridge scene from the first movie, the bridge fight scene, was leaked by Ryan Reynolds like before the movie like got greenlit, and because the YouTube video got so many views and so much positivity, folks was like, you know what, let's do it.
Wow. That's cool. That's a cool backstory to how they got made. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, though, here's the interesting thing, and it's a little bit the same with Wolverine, actually, because obviously there's only been one actor play Wolverine on like live action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do they ever? We've spoke about this before. How do they ever replace Hugh Jackman with a new actor? But I think more so than that, how are they ever going to get a different actor to play Deadpool? Because I feel like they're so intertwined now.
Yeah, but I think still it's doable because Deadpool wears a mask usually. Wolverine.
Yeah, but it's the voice and it's just his rhythm of speaking.
Okay,
but if you look at cartoons, David, people who impersonate the cartoons, they impersonate Ryan Reynolds so well now that you basically feel like it's Ryan Reynolds as a cartoon, even though he's not.
But Cap, that brings up an interesting fact that we found out with What If, we found out that normal like MCU actors can't do voice acting.
Yeah.
So like the voice actors being naturally able to mimic Ryan Reynolds is fine, but the whole mannerisms of Ryan Reynolds would need to be Ryan Reynolds. It can't be anyone. Like Deadpool can't be a top. Like nobody else could be Deadpool.
I'm pretty sure the next Jim Carrey will be Deadpool.
The next Jim Carrey will be Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't know who that's going to be, but I think he can be.
Who? Matt Rife?
No! How is he the next Jim Carrey?
I don't even know who Matt Rife is, if I'm honest.
It's like similar brand of slapstick, like obnoxious sounding comedy, basically.
I need to look this guy up. Matt Rife. Oh, hang on. Oh, no. What have I done? Right. Matt Rife. Let's see who it is. American actor. Wow, I don't know him at all. No, I don't even recognize him at all. No, but
David, can you share a picture
of Matt Rife? Yeah.
I think
Let's make sure these are all normal. Let's see. Here we go. Is that him?
Yeah.
Matt Rife argues with a 6-year-old on Instagram. Jesus.
He's not Jim Carrey. He barely does anything slapstick related. He just does crowd work.
Matt Rife doesn't have the facial expressions. I've seen Matt Rife, and he doesn't have like the same like facial contortions that Jim Carrey can do. Jim Carrey has like really good musculature.
Yeah.
There's a video of Jim Carrey doing the Grinch face during a Sonic interview, and that's terrifying.
Wow. I'm going to see if I can find that. What during the Sonic did you say? Because he's a lot older. So okay, so Jim Carrey, Grinch face. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, you're right. Let's see if I can bring this up. Oh my gosh. Hang on, let's open this in a new tab. Open image in a new tab.
Out your faces and stuff like that, you'll easily get like wrinkles and stuff. But like Jim Carrey doing all of that, still look good. I mean, like at his age, he looked pretty handsome, even though he was like contorting his face all over.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is seeing him do that without the makeup on. It's not a billion miles off of Pennywise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like the lip and like obviously the guy who does Pennywise has got like a lazy eye, so he can do the eyes looking in two different directions, which I think probably that helps get him the role. But yeah, that's cool. That is muscle control.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, have you seen anything this week that you want to react to?
John Wick 4.
You've seen John Wick 4?
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah.
Right, okay,
And
tell us about it.
The first half was great. Having Scott Adkins play a fat guy was hilarious. Because Scott Adkins is a well-known martial arts / stunt person. Who's like really fit and stuff. Having him fight as a fat person is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen this film. Just looked it up, and apparently Bill Skarsgård is in it, which is a coincidence because I just said about Pennywise.
Yeah, that just reminded me of it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I was like, it was good for the first half, and then the second half, when the duel is about to start, goes on for half the movie. I'm like, fucking get on with it. Like, but before that, it was good, but then it's like it slows to a halt where they build up to this massive climax really slowly.
Yeah. I think for John Wick, they just realized people just want action porn. So we're just gonna this is gonna be an orgy. This film's gonna be the final film. It's gonna be an orgy. Just like hit John Wick with everything.
Although I did enjoy what's his name? God, the guy who was in Donnie Yen. I did enjoy his character, and apparently he's getting a spin-off.
Oh, I think
they've just announced it.
Yeah,
wow.
he's the Daredevil version that went on killer mode. Yep. I think the story is going to be this: that like him versus the dot. Can I spoil the movie? Yeah, it came out years ago.
Yeah, go for it.
So in the film, Donnie Yen kills the Shogun samurai.
Oh, spoilers!
And her daughter is like thinking gonna seek revenge. So I think the series is gonna follow that, where his daughter is coming after Donnie Yen.
I feel like John Wick, every character gets like 10 years off where they can build a life, and then they have like children, and in those 10 years they raise like the next assassin to get revenge, and like it's a cycle. Like, here, you need your 10 years off. Make your friends who are going to kill us after we kill you in 10 years.
Yep.
They didn't put out a series though. I think it was Winston. I think or the Continental. Which is not very good though. Which is not very good though. Like they lost me in the first episode. They were like they casted a guy who looked kind of like Keanu Reeves with hair, even though he's supposed to be Winston's brother, and maybe that's why like Winston's like John Wick because he looks like his brother or something like that. That's the impression I got from the first episode. I'm not really sure if it's true or not because I haven't seen the series. But yeah, it did lose me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen John Wick 4, and I didn't know there was a spin-off. But apparently, so whatever this thing is, but apparently there is a 5th film in development. Plus, John Wick presents Ballerina.
Yeah, that focuses on the female assassin scene in number 3.
Okay.
I love that they have another like Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
It's all about
It's the Wick
like
branch,
7,
huh?
8 movies with it.
I saw a video yesterday of Vin Diesel promoting Street Shark toys in 1994.
Street Shark.
Yeah, it was
It's
one of
cartoon.
those Ninja Turtles wannabes.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh my God, I do recall that. Wow, and Vin Diesel was what? Was it a commercial? You said.
Yeah, at the 1994 Toy Fair, he was doing a presentation for the toys.
I love when you see like really famous people in old commercials.
Like Jack Black was in Pitfall.
Sorry.
Jeff, as soon as you said that, it reminded me of Jason Statham being like this naked swimming dancer guy in a music video once.
Wow.
I don't know why. Like half naked, like he's wearing a Speedo and he's like, you know, sinewy. You know, you can see the musculature.
Okay, I'm gonna see. I don't know if we'll be able to find that, but let's see what I can find. 19 famous actors who started in commercials. Oh man, this is so lame. This is on a casting website as well.
There's tons of
Ben Affleck was on.
Yeah, go.
No, go ahead. I'm just waiting for them to load.
There was like tons of Keanu Reeves commercial with like one is Coca-Cola, I think. There's tons of with him though, and there is the I think Dorothy movie with John Wick as well. I mean Keanu Reeves, like a weird Canadian version of what's that story? The Wizard of Oz. Yes, it's a weird story of Wizard of Oz.
Wow. Okay, so look, I'll show you the article I've got here. I won't play them, even though I'm sure they won't ding any copyright thing. But like, Ben Affleck in a Burger King commercial, Drew Barrymore in a cookie dough commercial, Steve Carell in Brown's Chicken commercial, Courtney Cox in 1985 Tampax commercial. I bet she's proud of that. Wait a second. In Friends, there's that episode. What is it that
Joey.
Yeah, what's the commercial he's doing?
Ichiban, lipstick for men.
Yeah, okay, come on, right. What's this? Bryan Cranston Preparation H. What is that, like a hemorrhoid cream?
That is a hemorrhoid cream.
Oh, no way. I almost want to play it. Hang on, guys. Like, let's take the risk. Let's take the risk. Let's. I'm going to mute it a second. Let's see what Preparation H is. Okay. I don't know. There might be famous music, though. Wow, look at him there. He's so young.
And he still looks old.
He does, you're right. That is quite a talent.
Also, fun fact about Bryan Cranston, he was one of the original actors in the original Power Rangers. He voiced several of the monsters. And one of the characters...
Wait, hang on. So he was in the original Power Rangers?
Yes, in 1993.
That's cool. Because didn't he come back as
Zordon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they named the character of Billy after him as Billy Cranston.
Billy Cranston? Oh, I was going to say his name's not Billy. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Right, it's like, what do you mean? His name's Brian. No, but Cranston, I get it. That's really cool. Leonardo DiCaprio Bubble Yum commercial. Morgan Freeman Listerine commercial. Wow. Sarah Michelle Gellar. That's Sarah Michelle Gellar. That's crazy. Kodak, Mark Hamill. I don't know. This perhaps isn't that interesting. Right. Anyway, guys, has anyone seen anything else to react to? We've got some other things. Yeah, go on, Cap.
I have seen The Ungentlemanly Warfare, the new Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill movie.
Yes.
I was hoping it would be The Gentleman, but it was not The Gentleman. So... Again, it's not what I hoped for, but it's an okay movie. I have nothing bad to say about it, except that my expectations were really high and they weren't met. The one problem I would say is that like they separated some of the characters, which I really didn't like. Is that in that story or in real life, the guy Henry Cavill plays and the actress they actually get together and end up getting married, but they only have like 2 scenes together, and they last about 10 seconds. So
wow.
Once they meet and they go, I think Henry Cavill says something, and she says no, thank you. Okay, then they never see each other again. At the end of the scene, Henry Cavill's literally, I know she will make it. That's all he's doing, and they come aboard, and they're like, okay, that's it, movie's over. What? I only figured out at the end credits where they showed that they both got married. I was like, you missed a whole romance in that movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that again, Henry Cavill was extremely goofy in this one. And then but I think his character is more like he's like an eccentric James Bond. And again, this character was the inspiration for James Bond. But he was more of an eccentric character Henry Cavill played. I think the guy who played Reacher, was the real star in this one, action-wise, because he got to do all the fun
Aaron
stuff.
Richardson, right?
Yeah, him. He got to do most of the physical action stuff, and it suits him because it makes sense.
Yeah.
The spy story is literally the other actor and the Marjorie character. They usually did the spy scene. The villain, however, not as well engaging. Guy Ritchie usually do very good engaging villains and heroes, but in this one, he's doing a Nazi bad guy, but I was expecting more charisma out of things, but we didn't get it. And also, it's very anticlimactic because, in The Gentleman, you got a huge monologue before the villain gets its comings to. Again, Guy Ritchie does the anticlimactic thing where the hero walks off and he's about to die now. But in this one, I felt like they built this Nazi bad guy. Come on, do a fist fight scene where we see the guy get wrecked. No, he just dies pretty easily. So I was hoping for much more of a thing. That's the few things I have to say about the film. It's an okay film, but it is not as good as The Gentleman.
See, I've not seen that movie, but it's on my list. But it begins a worrying trend for me, where Henry Cavill will play these James Bond type characters for the rest of his life, but be really hated for it because
never end up as
they're all
James
weird.
Bond.
Yeah. I think there's a really good point there. Yeah. I think that actually is going to be somewhat what happens. But speaking of Henry Cavill, I'm not just going to bring up the thing here. Here is the first look of Liam Hemsworth taking over his role in The Witcher.
It's Henry Cavill. It just got leaner. It just looks like that.
It's weird, isn't it? I was going to say, it feels like there is a weird trend with David Corenswet as Superman, where the guys they get to replace Henry Cavill look exactly like Henry Cavill.
I think they're okay, he was Superman, okay? Countries that don't even care about celebrities, they just want the face. We need to get a closest face as possible. That's what we need to do.
You know what? This is Henry Cavill's non-union Mexican equivalent.
Well, yeah, as they say in The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's such a good episode of The Simpsons as well. But yeah, so this is the first look. There is a little bit of a trailer, but literally it just shows him walking from the back, and then he turns over his shoulder. But yeah, he is.
I really hope, Netflix right now has changed their act a little bit because they did One Piece and they did it justice. I heard the Avatar, the Airbender was also not so bad, but again, people said not really same good as the animated show, but it was okay, better than Shyamalan's film. So that's always a plus. I think right now Netflix has changed their act when they're doing live action. I wish that Witcher came out in this time rather than the time it came out. Nightmare.
Here's the thing. I think that Netflix is using all this live broadcast programming money from the roast of the footballer. I forgot his name. They did
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady roast recently, and they got the rights for wrestling as well. So they're using all the live broadcast money to make good shows now.
I mean, they're also going to do that. They're also going to do the Tyson versus Jake Paul thing. It's going to be on Netflix too.
Yeah.
I hate Jake Paul. I don't know who Jake Paul is, and I don't want to know him.
Well, the good
That's
news
what
is
it
he's about to get punched by Mike Tyson, so
Yeah,
that may be
He's
the
a-
end last we hear of him.
yeah. He's a sort of famous wrestler's little brother.
I feel like the less I pretend to be interested about Jake Paul, the less people will be interested in Jake Paul. So I don't feel very interested in Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I feel interested in remembering where I put toilet paper in my house.
Yeah.
Do I have it? I should probably go to a CVS and buy
But
some
I
toilet
also
paper.
there are some rumors that Henry Cavill's Amazon thing is also. Again, there was a huge thing that happened with Warhammer recently, where they announced female custodies, and the community is currently in a disarray, where they're like, "Yeah, we don't like it. This is gonna turn into something else." And then these are rumors. I don't think Henry Cavill probably said them. But there's rumors that Henry Cavill might not do the Amazon show. But even though he did admit it on camera that he was like very happy that I was about to do Amazon thing. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It might fall apart.
I would love to see a Warhammer 40K show start with like a custodes going through the training. Is that what they're going to base this show off of, Cap? Or
we don't know what they're going to do.
Okay.
We have no details about what they're going to do right now. The only Warhammer property the Games Workshop has released is the animated series that they did with the Salamander and the Sister of Battle show. It's quite a short animated show they did. Apparently, there's going to be a season 2, and Hammer and Bolter might get a season 2 as well. But that's the only sure things that we know. Henry Cavill's project has like 0 leaks. We don't know what it's going to be about.
wow.
One interesting geek thing I did see was Casper Van Dyne, the main guy from Starship Troopers, reacting to Helldivers 2.
Oh yeah, and
To what?
Gameology.
Helldivers 2, which is like a game that's it's like a game. It's like a cross between Warhammer and Starship Troopers.
And what was his reaction good, or the thing look good?
Yeah, definitely.
It's basically, I would say it's more Starship Troopers than anything else. It's basically Starship Troopers. It's that whole movie where they just like, hey, just go and fight the bugs, and they send you off, and you just fight bugs until you die. But I feel like I've seen good edits on YouTube where they put penguins of Madagascar in Helldivers, which I really enjoy. If you can watch that, that's really good. The series of, I think there's several cartoons that did it, but I think the penguins thing is my favorite because like they're commando penguins and they're soldiers, so it just works perfectly.
Right, so guys, a couple more things to react to before we begin to wrap things up here. First of all, I take it no one else has seen Doctor Who from this weekend, right?
No.
Oh man, right. Do you know what the thing was? If you do get a chance to see it, it was actually the best of the new season yet.
That doesn't say a lot.
But here's the thing:
Not a high mark.
it was written by Stephen Moffat, who obviously used to be the showrunner. And he was the one that came up with Blink and like some of the more well received episodes. And I'd say this was a good episode. I won't give tons of spoilers about it, but the one thing that didn't sit well with me about it was that almost the entire episode, like it kind of, you'll probably leave the question of why if I don't say, but the Doctor was in peril and he was crying the entire episode. And when someone's crying that long, it loses its effect. If they wanted to have a moment where the Doctor has suddenly got tears, there was a specific moment in it, which I won't give into, where it would have made sense that like it could have all got to him. But he was just literally teary the entire episode, which made no sense to me.
Yeah. At least with Tennant, he had to like break him to the end to get him to show emotion.
Oh yeah.
But if it's like,
well, yeah, it's just like if you do it too early, like I think we were saying on the show last week that already they'd got it that, like I think Dave was commenting that shoot his doctor, it was like already, I've got to run away and stuff. And I was trying to say, there was a story reason for it. But 1 week he's running away, the next week he's crying. It's like, come on, like you want the doctor to be the one that's always got an idea, or confident that he'll come up with an idea. But it was all right. The other thing about this episode, though, is that there was so much hype, and it was a really good episode. No, it wasn't. I've overhyped it. Right? It was a decent episode, especially compared to the other couple that's been in this season. But one of the things going into the hype with this new season was that they were going to have Disney money behind them. And this episode was filmed almost just in one location. And there was a cast of maybe 6 people in it in total. And it felt like an episode that they'd make when their budget has run out. It doesn't mean it was bad, but it just felt really small.
I think Disney's. I think it would be in their best interest to reduce their budget, because like they lost freaky money the last year with like Indiana Jones and most of the Marvel stuff. They're like, you know what, guys, we're gonna lower the budget a little bit.
When everybody was saying, "Oh, they with Disney money, with Disney money," and I was thinking like, no, they don't. They have Disney in charge of their money, so you get less.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it might turn out that's what's happened. Just because, in fact, thinking of the first 3, has anyone seen any of these Doctor Who episodes?
Nope.
Oh wow. I can't. Yeah, I can't think of any way in where they feel bigger or grander than any previous season. And arguably, this last episode felt, and it wasn't bad. I sometimes love films that are set in one location, like something set in like a hostage
bottle
situation.
episodes.
Sorry,
like bottle episodes where they're in one location and there's like 1 or 2 characters, and they don't like. It's a cost saving measurement they do. They film the entire episode in one location.
No, not even necessarily that. Like, if you know the Tom Hanks film, The Burbs, they never leave like 3 or 4 houses.
That was a terrible film, David.
I love that film. I watched that the other day. That's such a good film.
The only problem is, David, the same that the Guy Ritchie did it was anticlimactic. I was expecting the biggest payoff I could think of. I was like,
there was a payoff.
No, it was not. I was like expecting a portal to hell, but nah. They had bones.
No. Yes, no, so they were guilty. They were like the demon Satanist guys. There wasn't going to be a portal to hell. Oh my god. It was a film set in 3 houses. Why would there be a portal to hell suddenly?
That's what they were building.
Maybe they're in Croydon.
Oh my god, no! Oh my gosh. Right, anyway. But like that film, or like a film set on a train, like just where it's in like one location, stuff like this. The limitations means it can end up being quite interesting. And this episode of Doctor Who was interesting. Well, look, this is no real spoiler, because if you read the synopsis or what in this week's episode, the Doctor stands on a landmine, and so he can't move. Right, and so that's why you can imagine there'd be tears and stuff, but they're there super early. And it doesn't make the Doctor seem as brave as you'd like him to be. And when there is tears, and when there is a bigger reason for tears, because the Doctor's been in peril so many times, right? But go on, Cap.
No, that's my problem. Like, the concept that you said is a very good concept if it's not the Doctor. Like, if it was any other, like, think about Blink, right? Doctor wasn't dealing with the angels, it was the girl. And there was, like, genuine scare and peril in that. I think that could, like, even when Doctor was, like, explaining this, he was the 3rd character to begin with, like, in the whole story. Like, I wasn't, like, thinking, like, David Tennant was scared of the angels. Because, like, he's a Time Lord. He's not going to be scared of the, like, weird things.
Well, yeah, so it changes the stakes when you've got a character that even if they die, it's not the end, right?
Yeah.
See, now that you told me the concept, I know what annoys me so much. There's one like piece of fiction that did that concept much better. Kingsman.
Yes.
Kingsman. What, stood on a
Yeah.
landmine? In
Yes.
one of the movies?
Merlin.
The second one. The
Merlin
second
stood on a landmine, and he was like, "Run, go away. I need to do this. I'm going to die, but I'm going to save you guys first." And they're
Oh,
they're
wow.
pleading with him, like, "Don't do this. Don't, like, come with us. Don't do this." And like, no, you guys go. I'm gonna draw them towards me, and then he starts saying, "Take me home, country roads." What to attract the enemies to him, and then blows himself up.
He's such underrated actor, I would say. Like the actor who played that. He also voiced
Mark Strong, right?
I don't know the name. I don't know.
Oh, Mark Strong. Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He's also a good voice actor. He was the voice of Captain Titus in Warhammer Space Marine game.
Let's have a look what Mark Strong is in. So, yeah, Kingsman. He was in Cruella. I can't even remember who he was in that, to be honest. Apparently, he was in Green Lantern. I'd forgotten that. He was in Shazam.
He was the
he was the villain in Shazam.
Yeah, he was Dr. Sylvana or something.
Yeah.
I think that he was a terrible thing for Sylvana. Sylvana is a cartoony villain. Like what they did again. I'm not a big fan of the first Shazam film, even though everyone said it's like really good. The reason why I hated it, several reasons why I hated the first Shazam film. I preferred Shazam 2 over Shazam 1.
Wow, I think he was the villain in the movie Sunshine, which, if you haven't seen it, was really good. Yeah, he was the villain. You wouldn't recognize him because there's makeup on him. But he's in the movie Sunshine, which, if you haven't seen, it's really worth seeing.
I want Mark Strong to be Lex Luthor.
He looks like
that would work too.
Yeah.
That would work too.
Who is playing Lex Luthor in the new film?
Beast.
Oh,
Kelsey
yeah.
Grammer?
No, not that Beast. He would have been good, but the other Beast.
Yeah, like, okay, what's our predictions on that? Is he gonna make a good Lex Luthor, or?
See,
he's more Clark Kent than anything else. Like if you take him in the X-Men First Class, he looks like Clark Kent, like Brendan Routh's cousin.
Here's the thing: every single leg, apart from Mark Zuckerberg, that they have had has subverted expectations. Where you think he's going to be bad, they're really good.
What, as Lex Luthor?
Yeah, like they had John Cryer as Lex Luthor and Supergirl.
Yeah, fair enough.
Everybody thought that was bad. That was going to be Lenny Luthor reprising his role as Luthor.
Yeah, Lenny Luthor.
Everyone thought that was going to be bad, and then now it's like
that's great.
It's kind of been really good. And then they had
what about the guy in Smallville? Did people think he was going to be bad?
Yeah, because he was originally like comedic actor.
Was he?
He's like
I know him from.
He's like a Heath Ledger type.
Wow.
I believe like Michael Rosenbaum was like mostly a comedic actor, I believe.
Wow, I never knew that. But have you seen that the guys from Smallville now have a podcast?
Yes.
You know, Michael's had it for ages.
Well, yeah, but they've got one called Talkville, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they just talk about Smallville and interview people that were on Smallville, and
That's
it's
awesome.
and it's I see clips of it. I've never listened to a whole episode, but like if I go onto TikTok, every second day I'll be showing clips from Talkville, and every single time I'm like, oh, so that's how they made that episode. It's great, honestly.
Honestly, what a smart way to like keep like making money off of the thing that you did, you know?
Yeah.
You know what's really funny about that? Do you know who started this whole reunion podcast thing?
No, tell me.
Ned's Declassified.
Who's that?
It was a Nickelodeon show in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And the main actors started a podcast as a reunion, and that spun off like loads of other podcasts where people were reuniting. So you had like Woods of Waverly Place, Talkville, and like other TV. I believe Scrubs had one as well. I believe, and like all these shows having like reunion podcasts.
Who? Who? All right. There's a woman who played Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica. She has a podcast too, but she interviews like everyone in like
She's
science
Sackhoff.
fiction. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff. Yeah, she got the Sack On podcast or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sack on.
Well, did you know
Yeah.
that Michael Rosen, whatever, was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. He was also the Flash in Justice League Unlimited.
Okay, but
The
like,
cartoon.
help me figure this out here, because when I like look it up, I can't remember. Is this character CGI and he's just a voiceover, or was he actually on set?
Yeah, no, you're CGI.
Ah, that's a shame. Because that does actually kind of look like him. So maybe he was on set and they just like the Hulk sort of thing.
Hmm.
I think in the part, I think he debuted in the second one. I think, but he didn't.
Yeah,
look
he
like
he was one of the other Ravagers, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, like Stallone and Miley Cyrus and stuff.
And Miley
Oh, that's-
Cyrus.
Yeah, she played the robot in at the end of number 2.
What? Shit, I'm learning so much today. This is unreal.
I'm coming in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Fun fact: the reunion, the little group reunion they have at the end with all the other Ravagers, right?
Yeah.
They are the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like, is that in a similar sense where they just skip over the original Ant-Man? And why are they skipping all these characters? I don't get why they do this nowadays.
I have no idea, but like the team they have at the end is the original, like plus Yondu were the original, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Right,
think
anyway.
they would work. I think they wouldn't weirdly work. That's why they decided to go this probably the new route. Again, most of the stuff like the sci-fi superhero stuff. Again, even if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a pretty goofy where their outfits and stuff like that. It kind of gets goofy. The only at least non-relatably relatable to 70s characters are the main cast. They are the characters who doesn't look like they were created in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, something I've got here. We have to wrap quite soon, I'm afraid, just because we've got to do an event. But there is a trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4, and it's coming to Netflix on July 3rd. Have you seen the trailer?
There's already one. I saw the first one. And also
I didn't see this one. I didn't see this one though.
Okay, well, let's see if I can bring up my my shield, just because Netflix aren't going to take kindly to it. So let's see if we can play this. So I'll be honest, you might need to hear this trailer. It's a comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
But it looks action-y.
Yeah.
I bet. I just hope that it's Eddie Murphy on good form, just because I was so disappointed with Coming to America, and I felt like the thing that went wrong about it is they had Eddie Murphy playing like the straight man, whereas he needs to be the clown.
And also, I think they focused on like his son and stuff like that. That's where it went wrong. It should have been about Eddie Murphy again, but it went to the son.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the second film, guys. It's the sequel, not the fifth film.
Oh my god, was that Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Go back.
How does Eddie Murphy still look like he did in 1988, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt looks like he's 88? That is crazy.
He works out, David.
I wonder if Judge Reinhold is in this one.
But
Kevin Bacon's in it.
I think with Eddie Murphy that they need him to let him riff. I think if they let him riff, he'll make everything entertaining. Eddie Murphy just has that charm, like the Will Smith charm, or actually the Eddie Murphy charm that Will Smith had later on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this will be fun. People might say, "Oh well, it's better than the third one," even though I actually really like the third one.
Oh, by the way, Judge Reinhold is in it.
Oh, we're good. Oh, good. Why hasn't he been on the trailer at all? Unless he looks so unrecognizable nowadays. Let's have a look. Will they show? Oh, that was him. Oh my god! Wow. Yeah, that's him to the side there. He has not aged as well. Good for him. He used to be in so much, and then he's completely like vanished. What was that film that he was in that was like Freaky Friday? Vice versa. Did anyone see that?
No.
No. Ah, it's good. It was like one of those films like Big and Freaky Friday, where he was playing like he swapped bodies with his son or something. It was a good film. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to begin to wrap things up here just because time is getting away from me. Cap, go on, give us your last thought.
I do want, from seeing that trailer, kind of gave me flashback to the movie Bright. I really want a sequel to that movie because I thought that.
I never saw Bright.
It's good, David. It's good. I don't know why people shit on it when it came out. I think mainly because we had so much good content back then. They were like, it's terrible.
Well, anyway, guys, let's start to wrap things up here. If you've got a recommendation for people, let them know your geeky recommendation. Tim, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Providence Improv Guild in Providence, Rhode Island, every Friday and Saturday. We have an 8 o'clock show on Fridays, a 7 and a 9 on Saturday. I might be working the front of house for a while, but I'd love to see you come if you can. Again, Providence, Rhode Island, Providence Improv Guild. I don't have anything to recommend right now because it took me a minute to sort of pull that up. But if I think of something while the other guys are presenting, I would love to share that if possible.
Sure. Dev.
They can find me on Twitch and TikTok on the name FWUDAT. And my geeky recommendation this week is tomorrow the new South Park special comes out called South Park: The End of Obesity, where Cartman tries Ozempic.
Okay, cool. And that's on Paramount, is it?
Yes.
Okay, Cap.
You can find me on Soul Beats, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And recently, I uploaded a fascinating, fun review of X-Men '97. Go check that out. And my recommendation for this week is going to be the The Legend of Tarzan series, the Disney series where they did after the movie. I'm currently watching it right now. I watched season 1 before. I never got back to season 2, but I'm back to season 2. It's good. I love the Disney Cinematic Universe before the Disney Cinematic Universe. 2000s were awesome.
Okay. So for me, my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also get any of my books. Also, and here's a fun fact to follow on from last week. Last week, I spoke about that I was about to have a video about this terrible Street Fighter 2 plug-and-play device. The video has now become my most popular video on the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel. It's just under 5,000 views on it, which has gone crazy. But check it out, where I actually repair this sucker and get it to work, even though it's broken. Because they decided to sell this to people with a joystick that only goes 4 directions instead of 8, which was just ludicrous. My geeky recommendation, as it's going to be for the next little while, is just see Doctor Who. Win, lose, or draw. It's going to be a wild ride. So with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Boom. And we're off the air.